Welcome to another quick live review, and I'm quite excited about this one because I am looking at Stone's Xocoveza, which it's a beer that I absolutely loved about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was when I was living in Canterbury, and I lived right next to the bottle shop in Canterbury, and they always used to get Stone beers in, and I tried one bottle of it because it was bottles back then. I tried one bottle of it, and I loved it, and I just brought like every single bottle on the shelf. And then I never had it again. Then Stone Berlin, when that was a thing, they brewed a version of Xocoveza, which was absolutely poo-poo. And then I saw this the other day on Trembling Madness, which is a fantastic bottle shop and bar in York with great prices. Absolutely great prices. Not a sponsor, but if you're watching, I'll gladly receive free beer. But yeah, I absolutely love this beer. So when I saw it, it is the actual American version of Stone Xocoveza in a can now. I jumped at the chance of getting it. So let's have a little pour here. Was this the clean cup? Yeah, I've got like loads of dirty glasses there. So Stone Xocoveza, I just realised I'm getting too excited and I didn't actually say what it is. So it's actually an Imperial Stout inspired by Mexican hot chocolate. So it's 8.1% and it has chocolate, coffee, pasilla peppers, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg. And I'm not usually a fan of like chili beers, but I don't remember this being too chili forward. If you want to cringe, you can go back and look at my review of this from like 5 years ago, and have a little laugh. So beer in the glass is a pretty jet black little number with a nice tan coloured head on top there. Looks absolutely fantastic. Nice rocky head on the top. Oh, just a few comments. Hello? Steve's Brewing, how you doing? Oh, it does. It does sound delicious. And I hope it is. I hope it lives up to it. I was so excited for that Stone one. That Stone Berlin one, and it really didn't live up to it. But let's give this a little sniff, shall we? Wow, that is rich, to say the least. I am picking up, there is a distinct chili whiff to it. So I don't know if this version's a little bit heavier on the chili, but we'll see when we taste it. But yeah, a load of nutmeg. Yeah, I'm getting, it's more like giving me more cocoa powder vibes than the actual milky hot chocolate. But it is making me salivate. It's Stone Xocoveza, Steve, from Stone in the US. Yeah, there's a little hint of, you're getting a hint of the coffee. Almost like a cold brew, that sort of thing. But it's stirring my loins. Let's go for a little taste. Cheers. Ooh. Okay. So it's not the thickest of Imperial Stouts. I mean, it is only 8.1%, so you're not getting into those sort of crazy 10%, 10, 12% vibes. but it's by no means thin. Sort of bitter dark chocolate right on the front end. Then those spices really start kicking in, and there's a little bit of heat to it. It's not off-putting. Yeah, it's not off-putting in the slightest. It's not like one of those chili beers where the heat just keeps building and building. You get the flavor of chili as opposed to a real sort of spicy kick. Yeah, and the spices you get in the cinnamon and nutmeg is more like the dried spices, I'd say. I distinctly remember, I could be wrong, I'm going to have to go back and watch my own review to see what I actually thought about this beer 5 years ago, but I distinctly remember it being sweeter. It hasn't got quite that sort of like sweet hot chocolate thing going on with it that I remember it having. It is now more sort of dark bitter chocolate with those spices. There's a little coffee kick. But it's not intense, but yeah, it's quite dry and quite bitter. By no means bad, but I think I built this one up too much in my head. It's still absolutely delicious. Because I think this is a milk stout as well. Has this got lactose in it? Yes, there's lactose in it. Which is funny because I'm really not getting too much sweetness at all. And Steve's saying, was going to ask if it was stout. Oh no, yeah, it's not as bad as those chili beers. It's got sort of a hint of chili in it, but not as bad as the ones that Mersey Beers had on his channel the other day. Those are. I've tried chili beers, and and I love chili. I mean, I love spicy food, but chili beers just aren't for me, really. Even though I'm drinking one right now. I remember the worst one I ever had was from Wonder Beyond from Manchester. And that was a big Imperial Stout, like a big, thick, gloopy, like 13% Imperial Stout. And the first initial sip, you got all those big, silly stout things going on. It really uber sweet, really thick, viscous. And then all of a sudden the chili hit, and it just kept building and building and building. And it completely ruined the beer. You couldn't taste anything. Luckily, it was the last beer we had in a bottle share. Because if we had sort of like, if that was in the middle or something like that, you just wouldn't, I said middle really weird, you just wouldn't be able to taste anything else after that. It was the craziest chili beer I've ever had, that Wonder Beyond one. I can't remember the name of it now. But let's have a little look at Untappd, shall we? And see what other people think of this beer. Because it has been around a little while now, because even when I had it sort of a few years ago now, it was a rebrew even back then. So yeah, look at that, 180,000 unique check-ins. Oh look, I've done it 3 times. I checked it in 3 times. And it has an average rating of 4 out of 5. So that's pretty damn good. Let's give this another little pour. I always like to see what people say about this one. Haha, yeah, I concur. I hope that's not something like horribly racist or something like that. Or you can translate it. What did they actually say? Very good stout, powerful, like this one. Oh, it's getting about. What language is this? Remains very, very tasty. Yeah, I'd say it remains very, very tasty to what I remember it being. Not quite. It's not quite giving me those same kick in the nadgers as I had before. But like, I mean, that's pretty on the nose. But it says the flavors on the can, and it delivers on those flavors. So You can't say fairer than that. Yum. Yum. Yeah, when it was really badly snowing the other week, that it would have been good on draft. Do you remember that, when you could have beer on draft actually in a pub? Crazy. Consumed February 23rd, 2016. Bloody, that is a late check-in. Jesus, that's a really late check-in. Best can ever. Oh, it's one of those upside down ones. But yeah, so it's still seemingly a well-regarded beer. Yeah, if you're talking about that Wonder Beyond beer, that was intense. It was sort of drink a pint of milk straight after it, sort of a chilly vibes. But I must say, it's quite different to what I remember it being, but it's still nice. I'm still enjoying it. It is a lot different to sort of other sort of, because I mean, I think people would see the ingredients of that, see it's got lactose in it, and think it's a crazy pastry stout, and really it's not. It is quite rich and flavoursome, and quite nuanced, really. And to be able to have all of those ingredients and still be able to pick out sort of individual components of it, it's pretty good brewing as well, if you ask me. I can't remember the name of it. I really can't. It could have been something like that. It was like a 14% stout, but with like chilies in it. And yeah, but Wonder Beyond do go sort of extra on their flavorings. I think I'll have to have more palate try those beers. Oh, it'll ruin your palate. Yeah. Well, yeah. Have you ever brewed with chili, Steve? You should do your own chili beer. I won't try it, but you could do that. Hi, Thomas. Thank you for joining in. So yeah, it's just a little quick review of this one. I don't like to linger for too long. But if you haven't tried it before and you get a chance, I'm pretty sure Tremolo Madness still has this on their online store. But definitely give it a go. It is very different, even by today's crazy standards. But that was everything from me. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.